Standards identified in these activities have been adopted from the content standards of the national organization for each discipline. More information on this can be found in the Technology as Facilitator of Quality Education model. The students in this third grade class are learning about habitats. They have worked in small groups to research specific habitats, and they have created slideshows about the habitats they studied using KidPix Deluxe software. The students have to add a slide that describes a new organism that could live in their habitats. This learning activity integrates Science Standard C3 for grades K through 4, which requires that students develop an understanding of organisms and environments. The study of ecology, by examining habitats and the interdependence of organisms and their environment, is also a part of the core knowledge sequence for science for third grade.
Now you're going to do something like this using the same graphic organizer to create your last slide, which will be to create a new organism that will fit into your habitat. You get to think of all the adaptations that the animals and plants in your habitat make so they can survive in that habitat. So to do that, you need to know about your habitat, don't you? Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is work in your groups to review the characteristics of your habitat, some of the organisms, choose some plants and animals that you have included in your slideshow, and think about the adaptations that animal or plant has made to survive.
The students and teacher talk about the adaptations animals have to make to survive in their environments. This learning activity incorporates Science Standard C1 for grades K through 4, which requires that students develop an understanding of the characteristics of organisms.
So talk in your group about these things. You're going to be writing about the characteristics of your animal, the characteristics of your habitat, and then you're going to come together and make the perfect organism. Just like we did the perfect vacation, what are the adaptations of, let's talk about the scrub in bushland. You know, what are some animals? Koala. Tell me about the koala. What adaptations has the koala made to survive?
The students work together to decide on the information they should record for their presentations. They also help each other spell words and ask their teacher for help when needed. This learning activity integrates English Language Arts Standard Number 6, which requires students to apply knowledge of language structure and language conventions, such as spelling, to create print and non-print texts.
I see with snow on it, because the ice has snow on it.
Some does.
Yeah, some parts.
Okay, what are you putting? The water. I can't spell water. W-A-T-E-R?
Yeah.
Oh, that's waiter. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is. No, C, wait, water. W-A-T-E-R.
No.
The groups then create their new organism on the computer using KidPix Deluxe software. The students address English Language Arts Standard Number 8 by using a variety of technological and informational sources to synthesize information and to create and communicate knowledge.
I don't know how people can use these.
You using your drawing tools?
We have to make things.
Okay. So your decision to make this is to what?
We're gonna use like the hooves are gonna be brown. The color's gonna be like white, kind of whitish, brownish color, and then it's little. The horns are gonna be like brownish color, and its face is gonna be like white.
The task of drawing the new organisms using KidPix Deluxe software also fulfills Technology Performance Indicator Number 1 for grades 3 through 5. This standard requires students to use keyboards and other common input and output devices efficiently and effectively.
Oh, there's a hole there. Don't do it. There's a hole there.
Don't do it. Good. Now you can use it. There's another one that has a heart.
I know, but that one is just connected to another one on the outside of the page.
After the students finish drawing, they record information about their organisms to include in the slide. This activity integrates Technology Performance Indicator number 5 for grades 3 through 5, which requires students to use technology tools for individual and collaborative writing, communication, and publishing activities to create knowledge products for audiences inside and outside the classroom.
Okay, ready? This is the killing stinging mammal. It is a consumer. It has a red striped stinger.
Now play it again and see if that's what you want.
Yeah, I'll play.
This is the killing stinging mammal. It is a consumer. It has a red striped stinger.
It's awful quiet, but the speakers are not bad.
Well, it'd be louder when we get the speakers on.
Yeah, so I think that'll work.
After the students have finished their slideshows, the teacher and the class discuss the importance of studying animals and habitats and sharing the information with other people. This dialogue integrates Information Literacy Standard number 7, which states that information literate students contribute positively to the learning community and society and recognize the importance of information to a democratic society.
Guys, why is it important? Why? We talked about it a little bit when we started this unit on animals. Some of you came up with some ideas, but maybe now that we're done talking about this unit, I want to know why all this work was worthwhile. Ashley?
The fish die off. The other animals that eat the fish start dying off.
Is that important? Why?
Because if they keep on dying off, you won't have any.
Do we need to know the reason why they're dying off? You think that might be important?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and remember how there was some leak in some kind of gas, I think it was. Well, that would be important because...
In the water pipes, it could poison people.
That's right. So, yes, we need to be aware of the plants and animals on this earth, don't we? And the changes that are going on. And your parents need to be aware of it. And all your life you'll need to be aware of it, won't you? And that's why we study this, isn't it? So it is pretty important.
The students present their slideshows to an audience of family and friends. This presentation demonstrates English Language Arts Standard number 4. The students adjust their use of spoken, written, and visual language to communicate effectively with a variety of audiences and for different purposes. In their slideshow, the students demonstrate their knowledge of ecology as they explain the food chain. This skill is a component of the core knowledge sequence for science for 3rd grade.
A food web in the coral reef starts with plankton. Then the littler fish eat the plankton, and the little fish eat the littler fish, and the big fish eat the little fish, and the bigger fish eat the big fish. And without the plankton, all the fish would die.
The seahorse clown shark is a consumer.
The students are also using spoken, written, and visual language to accomplish their own purposes. This addresses English Language Arts Standard number 12.
The white-tailed deer is a shy, fast-moving, plant-eating animal. This animal has long horns to help it survive from its predators. This fly is a common house fly which can locally be found in your houses or outside. You probably know about this fly, and they usually live in wetlands.
The students have created a survey for the audience members to fill out after viewing the presentations. The students record outcomes for a simple event and display the results graphically, which is part of the 3rd grade core knowledge sequence for mathematics. The students then interpret the survey results and draw conclusions from them. This addresses Mathematics Standard number 5, which requires that students develop an understanding of data analysis, statistics, and probability.
What can we say about the overall show, just looking at this? Stephanie?
They mostly loved it all
Okay, why do you say that?
because there's mostly check marks on lines on 5 and 4.